At the last spot on number 10, not because it's bad, but because of how different it is from the rest, we have the Man-O-War with the Thermite Mag. It doesn't make sense to rank it with all the other ARs, but it needs to be mentioned. First of all, for killing purposes, it can kill within 2 shots. Now, the time to kill isn't calculated as with every other weapon since the damage comes from both the bullet hitting the enemy and the enemy burning. So roughly for a 2-shot kill, we'd get a 500 millisecond time to kill. But in terms of aiming, we only need to be able to track the enemy for 120 milliseconds, which makes this gun quite overpowered on that part. The issue with the Man-O-War Thermite in terms of killing is that after 120 milliseconds, you're done shooting at the enemy and you have to wait 380 milliseconds after that to let him burn to death. Within that time, you can still get killed, which would result in a cross kill. But the Man-O-War Thermite is also great for one other thing, and it's destroying score streaks. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but you need to have a Man-O-War with the Thermite Mag at all times in your loadouts so you can destroy score streaks like a VTOL or Stealth Chopper within 10 seconds. Since the Man-O-War with the Thermite Mag isn't affected by range in any way, the build is quite special, and here's the Gunsmith for the Man-O-War Thermite. At the number 9 spot, we have the 3 taps. And I'm putting all of them at once to gain a little bit of space on the list. If you compare the AK-47, the ASM-10, and the DRH, what we find is that the DRH has the most limited range. With a max range build, which is incredibly slow, we'd only have 32 meters of 3-shot range compared to the 29 meters of the ASM-10 and the AK-47 with usual builds. But if we use the typical DRH build, we have 24 meters of 3-shot kill range with sort of decent mobility. Now you're probably wondering why can't we use the max range build and just cope with the mobility? Because in the game, there are a lot of weapons with better time to kill or range performances, which would have similar performances without the drawback of having such awful mobility. The ASM-10 and the AK-47 have similar mobility to the usual DRH build, while having 29 meters of easy 3-shot kill and also huge upsides such as, first of all, less recoil, a larger mag, and better damage consistency. The only real drawback you have on the AK-47 and the ASM-10 is the fact that the time to kill for a 3-shot kill is 220 milliseconds and not 210 milliseconds like on the DRH. But that 10 millisecond difference will not change anything 99% of the time, while the recoil, the mag size, and the damage consistency will change something quite a lot of the time. Now between the ASM-10 and the AK-47, it's easy to decide which one is the best. Which one can 3-shot in the legs? The ASM-10. Well, the ASM-10 is the best out of these 3, despite having slightly worse mobility and worse BSA than the AK-47. Here are the gunsmiths for these 3. You'll notice that on the ASM-10, we decided to put the Ranger barrel instead of the Branson, and it's because apart from a small fraction of the players who have great aim, it's gonna be extremely tough to exploit the Branson barrel strength, and it's more realistic to rely on the range boost of the Ranger barrel. At the 8th spot, we have the EM2. Basically, it takes the best out of each of the 3 we've just mentioned. It has the best mobility of the 3 taps, clocking in at 3.3 meters per second of strafe speed, which is fast enough to throw your enemy's aim off, but not too fast to throw your own aim off at long range. It has little to no flinch and little to no recoil. The BSA is decent enough to cover the whole 37 meters of 3-tap range. The mag size is large with 40 bullets, and the damage consistency is great. Within 20 meters, you can 3-shot despite hitting the legs only, and between 20 and 37 meters, you need to hit the chest and arms twice, which is approximately what we need to do with the DRH between 18 and 24 meters to secure a 3-shot kill. The only drawback of the EM2 is that the 3-shot kill time to kill is 224 milliseconds, but as I said, a small difference like that will not make any difference. And now that we've mentioned all 4 of the 3 taps, we can mention one more stat. The AK-47 and ASM-10 can 2-shot kill with a headshot within 29 meters, and the AM2 can 2-shot headshot within 20 meters, while the DRH can never. Not that it'll happen that often, but if you're aware of that, you might challenge people behind head glitches more often with the 3 that can 2-shot headshot. Here's the Gunsmith for the EM2. At the 7th spot, we have the LK-24. Honestly, the one which I'm having the most fun right now. It can be described in 2 words: slow and steady. First, the slow part. Mobility is awfully slow, and when I say that, I mean that even an Odin has better mobility stats. And by steady, I mean really steady. First, we have 0.4 flinch. Second, we have one of the easiest, if not the easiest, recoil in the game. Third, we have top tier BSA, making us able to challenge anybody at any range. Fourth, there's absolutely no aim shake on that weapon. Add to all that 60 meters of range, a free slot for a red dot, a 50 round magazine, and you get yourself the best long range AR outside of the Odin, which is significantly harder to use. In 6th spot, we have the technically better LK24, but I'll nuance it for you. The KN44 has similar range performance, whether it is on the damage side or the BSA side. It has significantly better 3-shot potential at close range, going from like a 5% 3-shot chance to about a 10% chance. The mobility is much better, but what needs to be nuanced then? Well, saying similar range performance is only true on paper. We can't equip a red dot on the KN44, making the clearness of the sight worse, and the recoil is much more complicated to control. Not that it's complicated overall, it's just the LK24 is so good that it'll feel like a PPSH recoil pattern. Now, we're always promoting high skill, high reward weapons, so if you're ready to put some time into training with the weapon, the KN44 is definitely a better choice. But if you want something that'll put your hands on and it'll be efficient right away, then the LK24 is for you. In the 5th spot, we have the Peacekeeper MK2, and in 4th, we have the Type 19. I'm going to talk about them both at the same time for comparison purposes, and we'll do that step by step. First, the range. Type 19, 15 meters of 100% consistent 4-shot kill, 20 meters for the Peacekeeper. Potential 4-shot kill, 31 meters for the Type 19, 39 meters for the Peacekeeper. How to get that potential 4-shot kill in the second range? 2 shots within the chest or arms for the Type 19, while only 1 is needed for the Peacekeeper. Then the Type 19 maintains a consistent 5-shot kill up to 43 meters, while the Peacekeeper drops to a potential 5-shot kill up to 60 meters if you're able to hit 2 shots within the chest or arms. After 43 meters, the Type 19 damage drops so hard that it's not even worth taking a gunfight. So apart from between 39 and 43 meters, the Peacekeeper always wins. Now for mobility, ADS time, Peacekeeper 215 milliseconds, Type 19 262 milliseconds. Sprint speed 6.23 meters per second versus 6.03 meters per second. Strafe speed 4.03 meters per second, which received a ghost buff by the way, versus 3.45 meters per second. On all the important stats, the Peacekeeper clears the Type 19, and it does so on every other one by the way. Handling wise now, bullet spread accuracy 17 for the Peacekeeper versus 18 for the Type 19. Magazine size 48 bullets for the Type 19 versus 40 for the Peacekeeper, but 0.8 second reload time for the Peacekeeper versus 1.4 seconds for the Type 19. Iron sight's horrible for both, but we can use the red dot without much issue on the Type 19, so we'll give it that. Flinch 0.38 for the Peacekeeper and 0.42 for the Type 19, so we can say it's pretty even here. Then what makes the Type 19 better than the Peacekeeper when it only has a better mag size and clearness of sight? Well, because the only stat I haven't mentioned, which is the only one where skills involved, vastly favors the Type 19, and it's the recoil. The Type 19 has one of the best recoil patterns of all the flex ARs, while the Peacekeeper has the second worst recoil pattern of all the weapons in the game, just behind the PPSH. Is it impossible to learn it and be efficient with it? No. Is it hard and time consuming? Yes. So I can only advise you to try and learn to use the Peacekeeper. It's pretty much the same scenario as between the LK24 and the KN44. Want something efficient right away without any sort of training or preparation? Use the Type 19. Want the best thing? Use the Peacekeeper. In 3rd place, we have the BP50. In my ranked games since the update, I haven't seen it as much, and a few people who kept using it used it with the 60 round mag, so it's kinda easy to outgun them by using an HVK30. But with the 7.62mm 30 round mag, which is what you should use, we have 17 meters of 4-shot kill, followed by 40 meters of 5-shot kill, another ghost buff. Mobility is incredible, giving us something close to the Peacekeeper overall. BSA is slightly off, only offering us 36 meters of accurate bullet spread. But as you know, the BP50 shines through its fast fire rate and its absolute brainless recoil pattern, which makes it incredibly easy to use. But due to the small mag size, which is vital to have a somewhat competitive gun, it's not as overpowered as before in respawn game modes. Here's the Gunsmith for the BP50. At the 2nd spot, we have one of the most skill-dependent weapons in the game, if not the most, and it's the HVK30. 29 meters of 100% consistent 4-shot kill, infinite 100% consistent 5-shot kill, great mobility being between the BP50 and the Type 19. great overall handling apart from the recoil, which can be a bit tricky. But that doesn't sound like the second best AR, and I would agree if it wasn't for a few details concerning the damage. First of all, at close range, so up to 18 meters, it's fairly common to get a 3-shot kill. Second, no matter the range, if you hit the head once, you reduce the number of shots to kill required by 1. First range goes from 4 shots to 3 shots, second range goes from 4 to 3 as well, third range goes from 5 to 4, and the fourth range goes from 5 to 4 as well if you can hit 1 shot in the stomach, upper arms, chest, or lower arms. And you might think relying on headshots is inconvenient, but that's exactly why the HVK-30 is strong. If you're able to aim for the upper part of the body, whether it's the chest, lower arms, or head, you'll benefit from the hitbox multipliers and simply shred your enemies. Here's the Gunsmith for the HVK-30. At the number 1 spot, we have the Odin. I think it's fair to say that it's the one that fits the best this season. All of the flex ARs are having a hard time because an SMG can beat them up to 28 meters. All of the classic ARs are having a hard time because they're getting cooked by long-range ARs and flex ARs. And all long-range ARs can be put away by another long-range AR, which is the Odin. 23 meters of easy 2-shot kill, 41 meters of potential 2-shot kill, infinite 3-shot kill, easy to control recoil, stable like a rock, 1.5 bullet impact, making the enemies feel like they're using SMGs at all times. Everything else doesn't matter here, it's just the strongest long-range AR in the game, and it performs well in mid-range thanks to the fast time to kill, and for the most reckless ones, you could even try to go in close range with it if you're consistently able to get that 2-shot kill. The only bad thing about this gun is its fire rate, which makes it really tricky to use. Here's the Gunsmith for the Odin. We just ranked all LMGs in the game from worst to best, including the Grau MG. If you want to see where it ends up on the list, click on the video on the left.